Do you have a joke for the listeners and for me?
Do I have a joke for you? Let me have a think. Questions.
Edward Ashcroft.
Whoa, that's harsh.
Oh, he's not here again.
Don't throw stones in glass houses, Roy. Won't end well for you.
It's very true.
Never read this one. What's that?
See, we're prepared in terms of the Google Doc, but shoot, go.
Doctor, my child just swallowed a roll of film. What should I do? Well, let's wait and see if anything develops.
Hey! That's the first joke that is a story rather than you asking us a question.
Is it? No, we've definitely
must
done,
be.
No, last week's was someone stole my depression medication.
Oh, that's true. I hope you're happy with it. That was a good one. Hello and welcome to episode 31 of That's Class, a podcast about things we find class, hosted by three of your favourite classholes, although once again, there are only two of us. As always, I'm Rory, always says hi to the C Kid, joined by Duncan, great start up the inside, Malcolm, and Eddie found the grip early doors, although he's not here today, Ashcroft. I do always say hi to the C. And I also say thank you when I come out.
Is that because it waves back?
Hey! I love it. I knew there was a joke in there somewhere, but I didn't know where it was. But that's very good. And what was your one? I just kind of read them. Great start up the inside.
Oh, it's just a reference to Eddie, the go-karting we did last week.
Oh, yeah. So for the listeners that don't know,
birthday,
it was our Eddie's 30th birthday, and they all made a big surprise for him last weekend, and you went go-karting. Tell us what happened.
It's definitely been talked about enough, but it was,
I don't know about it.
You don't know. Yeah, you don't know.
Neither do the listeners.
It was good. Eddie wiped the floor with us. It was raining. It was let's put it this way. It was a damp track, and we were on slick tires.
Lovely.
So there was lots of spinning and drifting, and there was bits of chaos. Benner's car ate a tire. That was funny.
Amazing.
There was like a small jump bit. That was fun. We
really?
did like sprint laps, and then we did like a proper race. And then in the proper race, we all managed to get away at the same time because they had to start a few carts because they'd stalled. So they did it all at the same time.
Ah, clever.
And we all managed to get away. And then basically there was just this gap. And I thought, if I'm not, there's no way I'm going to catch Eddie. So I was like, I need to get in front now and get away. So I just dive bombed up the left, and then managed to get past Eddie. And then Pidge was on my right, and then basically I kind of put my cart in the middle, and basically Pidge was either going into a tire barrier or he had to slow down.
Yes.
and
Tactical
then Eddie
racing.
stayed behind me for like a whole lap, and then took me got past me on the second lap. But yeah, it was good fun. It was good.
That's amazing.
Lockter go-karts, or Lockter Activity Centre, up near Inverurie, if any listener...
one of the easiest words to say in Scotland.
Inverurie, yes. If any listener wants to go there, then I can thoroughly... They are class, yes. It was a class.
It was class.
So
it sounds class. I'm actually quite gutted that I missed it.
Yeah. It was a big track. It was like a replica of Silverstone.
Oh, that's sick. Eddie knows Silverstone quite well.
It was super spinny. It was very funny.
That sounds awesome. And it was outside, was it?
Yeah, it was outside.
So it's proper go-karting.
It rained at one point. Oh, yeah. Yeah,
that's amazing. And you said there was a jump. There's no jump in Silverstone.
Yeah, I know. There was like this dip. And
sounds like Mario Kart.
Yeah, it was a little bit like Mario Kart. It felt like that. There was this weird like dip part, and if you hit it, you get a little bit of air. But you also want like as soon as you hit, you're like, oh, there's no suspension in this thing. Fuck.
That's amazing. Speaking of Mario Kart as well, Nintendo had a direct where they basically, it's like a keynote for Nintendo games, and Mario Kart, they're not releasing Mario Kart 9, they're releasing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with 48 new tracks to download. So basically what they've done... I
think it's like 90% of the tracks they've ever made are now in that game.
Basically what they're doing is they're doing what they did with Smash Bros. And then Mario Party, and they've now done it to Mario Kart, where they've basically just made the ultimate version, because it has courses from the NES throughout. Yeah. They've got N64 courses, albeit they've all been updated for like the new technology and things, so like the cars could fly and they can go in the sea and things like that.
Is it the Ultimate Edition or is it the Lazy Edition, because they want to they need more time to develop new tracks and they're like, shit, we're out of ideas?
I genuinely don't know, because what Nintendo I think is really good at is they're good at knowing that we all love nostalgia, and we all love like that N64 era. I remember. The N64 era of Nintendo was just so almost revolutionary in terms of like 3D models and things like that. So I think just pulling on the nostalgia strings of Nintendo fans, I think they did a really good job. And maybe it is like a ruse to like stall for like a year or two. But yeah. I'm all in. I'm going to download it. 48 tracks. That's going to be amazing. How many laps is that? 48 times 3.
48 times 3. Never asked how your week was, Rory. Have you done anything? Watched anything? Done anything fun? How's Sri Lanka?
Sri Lanka's good. We've actually had a storm come through, which is amazing, because we've not had rain in about 6 months. So it's quite nice.
Did you do like a Blade Runner or like a Shawshank Redemption where you're just standing in the rain?
Yeah.
You're just crying.
I did something similar to that, where I was in the sea when it started to rain, and I went like this. This feels so good.
Yeah.
Surfing in the rain is strangely therapeutic and relaxing. Rather than in the sun, you have to like go into the sea all the time because you're boiling. And then also the sea is boiling. So it's good fun.
A boiling sea would be quite... I think the sea being boiling would be quite pleasant, considering the last sea I jumped into was on like a day after New Year's Day, and it was very,
5 degree,
very cool.
A 5 degree sea.
Yeah, maybe less.
The one we've got here is, I think, 27, 28. So it's like a nice warm pool.
Yes. That sounds excellent. I could definitely go for that. That sounds nice.
It's good, isn't it? But what is also nice is just a little bit of housekeeping for the listeners, eh?
Oh, housekeeping. Boring.
Just a big thank you again for tuning in. Wherever you found us, on wherever you listen to your podcasts, we upload. What I'm going to do now is, there's no point of me giving myself more work. So what I'm going to do now is, everything is uploaded on whenever it's uploaded. Either we're going to aim for Monday, but usually what happens was the pod was released on Monday and then YouTube was released on Wednesday. What I'm going to do is everything is out at the same time, because with Spotify now doing video podcasts, there's no point of me making the video and then waiting to upload it until Wednesday. So I'm just going to do it all on the one day that I managed to edit it.
YouTube viewer.
Yeah, YouTube viewer, Gemma.
Viewer.
And yeah, it's all going to just go up at the same time. So wherever you listen to your podcasts, if you use Spotify, we have this lovely little video thing that we've got. We're on a Zoom call. I've made a lovely background in a little square and our little logo in the middle. It's great. So that's what's going to happen. If you listen to Spotify or anything, give us a rating, share us with your friends. Yeah, it's good. Shall we get into it then? Yep. That's all I wanted to say. So, topic number 1. As I scroll down. Bruce Willis, category, holy shit, what a rabbit hole.
Wait,
I don't know.
This shows how much you give Eddie shit, and you didn't even read half the articles that were posted in the chat.
I know.
That's scandalous.
Well, in my defense,
outrageous.
In my defense,
there is no defense.
You've written this in your own color, so I thought you would take control of this one. And then,
but you sort of read the article, Rory.
But you could tell me about it. Tell me,
yeah,
and then also simultaneously tell the listeners. Thus, a conversation ensues.
Right, okay. Okay, that's how conversations work. Oh, damn. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis got nominated for his own Razzies category this year.
Is it the Bruce Willis category?
It is the Bruce Willis category.
Really?
Yes. So, for people that don't know, the Razzies are basically the anti-Oscars, so they nominate the worst of everything in the past year.
Oh,
That is
okay.
what the Razzies do. I will click the link so that I can tell you some more about.
That's fine. I'll also click the link so that I can see what's happening.
So, for example, things like when Cats came out, it got nominated.
Oh,
for,
absolutely, yeah.
For
Well
lots of
deserved.
Razzies. So, worst picture is Diana the Musical, Infinite,
Oh shit! I saw that.
Karen, Space Jam: A New Legacy, and The Woman in the Window.
I haven't seen any of those. You've seen
No.
Space Jam, but I'm pretty happy with what I see, and I agree.
So, just an example. So, like worst actor, right?
Yeah.
Is Scott Eastwood in Dangerous. That must have been bad. Ro Hartram, no, that's Prince Charles in Diana the Musical. LeBron James in Space Jam: A New Legacy. Ben Platt in Dear Evan Hansen.
Oh no!
And Mark Wahlberg in Infinite.
No! Hey, I'm Mark Wahlberg. I'm an actor. Say hi to your mother for me, all right?
Every time.
He can't be a bad actor. He's the greatest actor of all time.
Okay. And then, so like, there's also things like the worst remake, rip-off, or sequel.
Oh yes. Is that like Oh yeah, Space Jam probably.
Space Jam's in there, yeah. Tom and Jerry the movie's in there as well. But anyway, the point of this is there's now a category called Worst Performance by Bruce Willis in a 2021 movie.
That's incredible.
It's Bruce Willis in American Siege, Bruce Willis in Apex, Bruce Willis in Cosmic Sin, Bruce Willis in Deadlock, Bruce Willis in Fortress, Bruce Willis in Midnight in the Switchgrass, Bruce Willis in Out of Death, or Bruce Willis in Survive the Game.
He did all those movies in 2021.
This is where I'm going with this. So, going down a little bit of a rabbit hole on IMDb, I thought to myself, this seems odd. Like, that's a lot of stuff. Now, I'm a big fan of terrible films. Like, I quite like a terrible film, terrible B movie. That being said, there's straight to DVD and then there's straight to DVD.
Are they all straight to DVDs?
Well, they must get theatrical releases somewhere.
That's hilarious.
Not in this part of the world, they don't. Okay, so has he got more? Has he got more since I checked?
That's hilarious.
Get away! No way! Oh my god, is that a sequel? That's a sequel to one of the direct-to-DVD ones. Anyway, right. So
what does that
Bruce
mean?
Willis,
direct to Netflix?
direct to DVD. Yeah, direct to DVD, direct to Blockbuster. It's not even going to the Netflix, it's going to Blockbuster. So let me read. Right. So remember the Expendables?
I remember.
Okay. I remember. Okay. The Expendables 2, right, which was okay, it's not bad, was 2012. Okay. Looper was 2012. And then
good movie.
the last film he was in that I would say was a big film was Sin City 2, A Dame to Kill For.
Yeah.
Right? And that was 2014, so that was what, 8 years ago now?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, he did use up until then he was doing maybe 2 films a year. Maybe.
Yeah.
Right?
If that. Like, I can't remember the last time I saw Will Smith. Bruce Willis in a movie.
Willis. So Sin City, Dame to Kill For, and then he did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then 13 films in 5 years, which is not that bad.
Yeah,
right?
fair enough.
Until he was in Glass. Remember that? Right.
Yeah. The Shyamalan
Glass.
twist.
So remember that, right? So
this is the
before
Shyamalan twist of Bruce Willis.
Yeah. So this is 13. Right?
Okay.
So it's 13 films in about 5 years. So that's not that bad if you're a big name. Okay, I guess. I'm not really sure. I'm not a big name actor. I couldn't tell you. Yeah. Right, you ready for this? So that was 2019. So that was 3 years ago. Since 2019, he has starred in 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30.
In 1 year.
30. No, that's 30 films in 3 years.
That's incredible. And I thought The Rock was in too many movies. What's Bruce Willis up to?
Well, it's funny because you know the guys at Red Letter Media?
Yeah.
Another excellent YouTube show. They actually did, after this happened, I think they must have either saw this or they were already looking into it. And basically, they've discovered that he's part of he seems to be a big favourite of a guy who was the bass for Turtle in Entourage. So he's one of Mark Wahlberg's pals.
One of Mark Wahlberg's friends, Turtle, yeah, who's like now an entrepreneur, yeah.
Yeah, so Turtle in Entourage is based off of this guy, apparently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this guy struck out on his own, and basically they were called...
With his vodka company, or tequila, or whatever.
What? No.
I'm talking about Turtle from the show.
You're talking about Turtle, yeah.
I'm taking the piss,
I'm getting confused here. No, he runs a production company, and basically what they do is they take a budget of a film like 10 million, and they pay 9 million to a big name, and then like spend 1 million on the actual film.
Mm.
And Bruce Willis, for example, seems to be the most popular one, where he would just turn up and get his lines fed to him in an earpiece.
Oh, that's so sad.
It's bad. And then half the shots in the film, they discovered as they were going through it, half the shots in the films aren't even him, because they're all shot from like behind.
That's amazing.
Or there's one that's like a blurry distance shot of him arriving with a handgun, and just as the scene flips, the guy comes into focus. It's not Bruce Willis. It's just it's just a random
funny.
bald actor.
That's so good.
So these films are all made really cheap, but they spend all their money. They're called, what did they call them? They called them geezer teasers, because basically it's all these old action heroes.
Yeah, just trying to be back in movies again.
So they suck you into watching this film or buying this, because it'll say something like the young actor, and then Bruce Willis,
yeah,
or Al Pacino, or Dolph Lundgren, or something like that. Dolph Lundgren. So their name just kind of sells the DVD, and it was just it's kind of funny but also sad.
That's insane. I can't believe he's done that to his career.
Well, it's just funny to watch, because they were saying look back on Die Hard. And you're like, what?
But like, did Bruce Willis make this category for himself, or did the Razzies or whatever they're called?
The Razzies people
They made this.
They made this.
And Bruce Willis was happy to be there?
I don't think he'll be turning up to accept an award someday.
I see. Okay, cool.
A lot of people don't turn up to accept their Razzie.
I'm so surprised, because
some people do. Some people do, and they take it with like a bit of good grace.
Yeah.
So the ones that do actually come out better. I think Halle Berry picked hers up for Catwoman, but I could be wrong.
I don't think you would be.
Some people have done speeches, and some people have picked up their Razzies and kind of gone, yeah, okay, it was shit.
I'll hold my hand up. Yeah, hold my hand up.
Yeah, hold my hand up.
That was a mistake.
It was bad. Yeah, that was a mistake. Like, it was terrible. I apologize. Like, that's bad. I will do better. So some people take it with a bit of grace, and most people don't turn up at all.
Yeah, like Megan Fox is here, Jared Leto is here, Amy
Yeah.
Adams is in here, Scott Eastwood.
Amy Adams is in there. That's impressive.
Yeah.
I thought she was, like, it must have been bad.
Well, it was worst actress in The Woman in the Window. I think that was just a terrible movie anyway. Alongside, Diane on the Musical. Why the hell would you make that? That's like such a real life version of the Captain America musical from Hawkeye. Like, why would you make a musical about that? Yeah, but worse. It's about the royal family, kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really good.
Bad.
That's a great little thing you brought up there.
Yeah, it makes me kind of. Once I did the sort of looking into it, I thought, Jesus, what?
That's so good.
Hell?
What we'll do?
Funny.
This will be a funny thing to add. So on, if you listen to us on Spotify, but what you can do is we'll put it on Twitter as well. I'll put a poll or like a question, and you just let us know what is the worst Bruce Willis movie that he's ever made. And you need to just... He's ever made, and he made 30 in 3 years.
Oh, it has to be one of them. I mean,
or maybe we could do that as an episode. That'd be good.
We should review Bruce Willis. Oh God, finding the one. I don't even know if I want to watch
Bruce Willis in review.
Bruce Willis in review, but we've got to do it you've got to take a broad sample size. So we have to watch Die Hard.
Yes.
We have to watch Armageddon.
Yes.
You
we have to watch, Bruce
Unbreakable.
Willis. What else is Bruce Willis?
Unbreakable, Sixth Sense. Unbreakable, Sixth Sense, and then we're gonna have to watch some of the crap ones as well. So you have to watch at least 7.
The Hudson Hawk. Have you seen that yet?
Hudson Hawk.
That's a terrific movie. It's really, really good. I watched it when I lived in Glasgow. He's a cat burglar and he likes to sing a specific song and wear a little
oh dear,
what are they called? Like a trilby, but it's like a pork hat or something. You know what I mean?
Pork pie hat.
Pork pie hat. That's what it's called. Very good. Moving on to what I would have thought.
Pal.
What I would have thought was a good thing, but you've now written in the doc. You've got a bad feeling about this, as said by multiple characters. So, Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, which is the Netflix TV show. Is it coming out on Netflix?
No, it's Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime
spent $500 million.
Jesus, that's like something Dr. Evil would ask for.
Yes.
But what they've done is they've released the first images, new story details and characters through the Vanity Fair Twitter account, I guess.
Because they must have got the scoop on it or something.
Yeah, probably.
I've saved something.
And you have a bad feeling about it. I mean, the elves look weird.
There's a bad feeling about this. Let me find it. Did I save it? I did. Excellent.
There's a trailer as well, which I will watch.
Okay. Amazon today announced.
Ooh.
Okay, so you're expecting
hot
good
scoop,
things from
everybody!
Lord of the Rings.
Hot scoop. Duncan, new segment. Duncan's hot scoops.
This is not a hot scoop. This is literally just something I screenshotted because I thought it was hilarious. And then I looked up the 2 people that actually did so the 2 showrunners. Okay, what do you think they've made
previously to this TV show?
Previously to this, what do you think they've made previously to this?
I want to say Lord of the Rings fan fiction movies on YouTube.
Okay. You're close.
Nice.
As far as I'm aware, let me just double check, make sure I've got this right. They have 2 producer credits. One for Lord of the Rings. On IMDb, they have 2 producer credits. Lord of the Rings, which, funnily enough, is the one they're on, and that's it. That's all they have.
Oh. So wait a minute. So they've given these 2 guys producer
because they're writers.
Credentials.
They're also producer credentials, but
they're producing this thing, but they've
never done it.
They've never produced anything in their lives.
Nope.
Well, you got to start somewhere.
yeah. Let's start with a $500 million TV show, one of the biggest franchises of all time. Let me read this to you, just before you get even more shocked. Amazon announced today that J.D. Payne and Patrick Mackay are a pair of J.J. Abrams adjacent screenwriters, best known for writing the script that reportedly got tossed out in favor of Simon Pegg and Doug Jung's script for Star Trek Beyond. They have been named as showrunners for the Tolkien-based show.
Oh, so they've written before then, alongside J.J. Abrams. Is that not what it says?
Yes, because J.J. Abrams has a great track record of established franchises.
Well, only when he's brought in and then taken away and then brought in again.
So you sound like a J.J. Abrams apologist here, Rory.
It's not a great track record for those 2, is it? You worked with J.J. Abrams, your script got scrapped. Record.
Yeah, their script got scrapped, and God, that's a good phrase.
That's good.
And
a scrapped script.
Scrapped script.
Your script got scrapped. In the scrapyard. I don't know what's happening.
Their script got scrapped, and there are J.J. Abrams adjacent writers, and everybody. I just read that, and I was reading a few comments, and somebody put, "I've got a bad feeling about this," and this could be epic. This could do very well. It could be excellent, but all signs are currently pointing the wind be changing.
There'd be a storm a brewing.
Yes, I feel like there's a storm brewing here. So yes, that was just a little takeaway. I just wanted you to know, like, because obviously we like Lord of the Rings, so we want it to do well. But
the weird thing about it is, in the photos, it looks. Is it about the elves? The rings of power.
Not even it's about all the rings because they made like 20 rings.
Yeah, but like some went to the elves, some went to the men, some went to the dwarves or whatever, and but all I'm seeing in the pictures are elves, and it looks.
So far.
It might just be the photos, but it looks too clean for a Lord of the Rings franchise. Because Lord of the Rings is what I loved about the original trilogy was just how heavy the swords felt and how heavy the armor felt, and like it was properly man on man rather than the fucking Hobbit trilogy, which is all CGI.
Man, do you, Rory?
I love a bit of man on man. Bit of man on man. That's class.
Looks like meat's back on his menu, boys.
You know, I do like to wield a big sword and swipe it towards men. I don't know.
Yeah, swipe it right.
Swipe right. But yeah, it looks clean. You know what I mean? Like it looks too polished.
I know what you mean. Yeah, there's a danger it could end up looking like Willow, which isn't a bad thing. Willow's a great movie, thing, but is it it's a great movie, but is it Lord of the Rings? It's kind of It's like I said, I've not seen enough. I haven't seen a trailer. There'll be a trailer this Sunday because it's the Super Bowl. So you're probably better.
Oh man,
some sort of
trailer time next weekend.
Yeah, trailer time next. You're gonna need a full license. Might need a third driver to come in and drive that trailer. But yeah, I've got this. There's just all these signs, and you kind of sitting there thinking, this doesn't sound promising.
Yeah,
but we will wait and see.
We shall.
But like, do you know what does look fresh and clean?
What looks so fresh and so clean? Oh my sack! They fucking do. They've only released sorry, pardon my French. They've only released 1, 2, 3, 4 cars so far. Haas, Red Bull, Aston Martin, and McLaren as of the day of recording, which is the 12th of February. And to be announced, AlphaTauri is the 14th, Williams is the 15th, Ferrari is the 17th, Mercedes is the 18th, Alpine is the 21st, and Alfa Romeo is the 27th of February.
It's Alpine, you uncultured swine.
Whatever. My dad just bought one, apparently.
What was that?
My dad just bought an Alpine. Sold his BMW.
Did he?
Yeah.
Sold his BMW?
Yeah.
What, the Z?
Sold the 8
Z4?
Series.
Oh, the 8 Series. I didn't realize you still had the 8 Series.
Yeah, he had the 8 Series for like...
Was that the silver one?
That's the black convertible. He's not had a Z4 in a long time.
Right, okay, sorry. I'm just trying to think. Last time I saw it, there was a Maserati, and that's why. But then an Alpine. Yeah. I quite like the Alpine. I would have an Alpine. I think it's pretty cool looking. I
think he got a blue one or a silver one. I can't remember. But I've not seen it yet. I've been here. So, Alpine, sorry. Yeah, first off, I've got a picture of one right now. I think the Aston Martin one looks fantastic. And I'm backing Aston Martin this season because way back in a couple episodes back, we all said, who are we backing? And I said Hamilton, but also for the championship, for the Constructors' Champion, Aston Martin. Their car looks fucking slick. It looks. I love the green.
That winter green, British racing green style. Yeah. It doesn't not look good.
It looks so good. That's one of
Aston Martin's big things is they always make something that looks pretty.
What I like, I wonder if it was a checklist for all manufacturers. The fact that the paintwork looks matted. Every car doesn't look glossy like it did last year. It looks like a matte color painting. Like paint job rather than a gloss. I mean, Red Bull probably looked a bit matted last year, but like now all of them have kind of adopted that look. It looks sleeker. It looks like there's no hard edges around the body. The front wing looks amazing. The 18-inch wheels. Is it 18-inch?
I'm not going to say for fear of getting it wrong and being crucified.
By who? No one writes in.
By who? Don't know. Oh, I think there's someone that'll be back next week that'll crucify me for saying it wrong. But they are bigger. They're the same. I think they're the same sort of ones that were on the F2 cars, but don't quote me on that. But yeah,
And
they are
McLaren,
bigger. They are bigger than they were.
McLaren launched theirs earlier today,
18.
and it looks amazing.
McLaren's is cool. McLaren's is obviously they've taken that Gulf livery that they used last year and kind of used that as a bit of inspiration. Did you see that the Monaco livery?
Yes.
With the pale blue and the orange.
Yeah, very, very cool. I like this white, blue, and orange. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see what the one from the Grand Prix last year was cooler, but this one's got homage to it.
Yeah.
No, it looks cool. Aston Martins I quite like. Red Bulls wasn't even anything to talk about.
I mean, it just looks like a Red Bull.
Haas is American but looks Russian. See how that plays out in the next 2 weeks.
Let me look at the Haas one again. Where's Haas?
And then AlphaTauris could be quite good. They're always kind of look fun. I like the blue with the white. Have
Haas gone white with blue and red again? Blue and red tinges.
Yeah, I think it's almost identical. In fact, it could be last year's design on the new car. I don't even think Eddie thinks they didn't even do a lot to it.
Yeah.
Or kind of like that wasn't that's not the car or that's not the design.
Oh, this is so sick. There's one that's been done. Let me show you this if I can find it. There's one that's been done that just looks like an America car. I don't know if you've seen it on Google. It's just red and it's got an American flag as like this spoiler thing. And
so
it's
like
just
Peacemaker's car.
It looks like a Peacemaker Formula 1 car. It looks great. I'll show you it in the chat. Tauri will look cool. Ferrari probably. I'm expecting a red
Ferrari
car.
will look like Ferrari, although it'll be interesting because they don't have Marlboro as a sponsor anymore, or William Morris. So that'll be interesting. Merc will be silver this year, I believe.
Oh, they're changing.
They're going back
to the silver
keeping
arrows.
The black race suits, I think.
I quite like the black.
Alpine could be interesting. They always can do fun things.
I kind of hope they go for that because their Alpine color is blue, isn't it? It's like that vibrant French.
It's like Sonic the Hedgehog blue.
French blue, Sonic the Hedgehog blue.
So it's like lightning-y kind of blue. It's kind of lighter.
Yeah.
And then Williams really, I think Williams need to make a good effort this year because
Williams,
if you have good...
I'm surprised they're still racing.
Oi, leave them alone. Williams, I feel like they need to. The best Williams design was the Martini Racing when Martini was a sponsor.
That looked sick.
And they had
actually,
red, the sort of Martini red, Martini blue. It was a really nice color scheme. And then I think that will sell. It sounds stupid. Williams need money. You need to
make a nice car,
nice color scheme, and stop plastering it with shit sponsors in certain places, and actually put a nice color scheme on. You'll sell merch, and at least then you're selling merch.
Yeah, 100%.
And people want to put stuff in your car, and at least if it's got a nice color scheme. I wasn't really a fan of the last season's one with the blue and the white, but you never know. The cool one about the Martini one was that it had the Martini colors straight up the middle. It was like red and blue either side.
That's cool.
Straight up from the front. That was sick.
And then Alfa Romeo. Their last season was what, red and white?
Yeah,
their car was pretty forgettable, to be honest. I think they could really, Italian it up a bit.
I think they could make it pop more. And
it's hard though because Alfa owned Ferrari, right? I think that's right.
Fiat
Fiat owned Ferrari and Alfa.
But Ferrari racing is like a whole different. Ferrari's a whole different.
Yeah, but then my point is they're very similar in terms of the color in which they're famous for is Alfa red. Alfa red and Ferrari
red.
Yeah. So I think, I don't know, they're just going to have to imagine if Ferrari change it to like a yellow. They won't, but
that would be cool actually. That'd be a fun twist. I like the idea of Ferrari being a bright red and Alfa Romeo. If I was a team like that, I would do
dark red
along the lines of have their dark red, but
like
not make the car symmetrical. So I'd actually have like dark red over one half of the car. and then have bleed into white on the other side of the car.
Oh, that'd be
Something
cool.
like that. Something funky. Yeah, they're very. Sometimes they're very basic. I think they could definitely do something a bit more fun.
Yeah, absolutely. They look great. I'm looking forward to the rest of the launches. We'll probably post them on our Instagram because we've been doing that as they've been launched, and then just giving a quick opinion. We haven't done McLaren yet because we were preparing for this pod, but Aston Martin, I had to sit down for multiple minutes. It looked so good. But moving on, I wanted to talk to Eddie about this, so maybe we can talk about it next week. Basically, Battlefield 2042 has had a refund petition going on the internet just now, and it now has over 100,000 signatures. People want their money back on this game. And Eddie briefly spoke about it on the pod, that he just wasn't a fan of it. And just little things were annoying that they changed. And in comparison to the trailer, it just wasn't as slick. And
well,
have you played it?
Sell a good trailer. Yeah, I play it quite a lot. It's.
Do you want your money back?
No, because I think that it will get fixed. Like I don't.
See, this is the thing with games nowadays is they can launch an update and then everything's fixed. You know.
Yeah, I think the problem is that it didn't launch in a satisfactory state. So they missold it. They misadvertised it. DICE seem to have forgotten what makes a good Battlefield game, but they seem to do that every single time. This is what we're saying. They seem to just forget all the cool things they do in one. They just forget about it and just go back to the bit, go back, and it's not as good as Battlefield 5, and Battlefield 5 isn't as good as some of the other ones at times.
Yeah.
But Battlefield 5, what now is probably in a better state than 2042. But I guess the key is that people want their money back. But if people don't play 2042, they're just going to pull this same stunt again. Yeah. The key is don't buy the next one and make them work on 2042 and fix it. Otherwise, we're just going to be in this vicious cycle. Yeah. I don't mind it. There's things that also ruin it, like the crossplay is a big problem.
Is it really?
It can be. PC players are just sometimes they're a lot faster. They've got a higher FPS. They can. The keyboard and mouse is easier, especially if you're shooting at long range.
With your mouse, you can spin a lot quicker, right? And you can
also adjust your shots easier because you can just quickly move. Everyone's very good with a mouse nowadays because you've used it for so long. So you're very quick at clicking on things, and so obviously it's your trigger fingers kind of just going up and down on the mouse.
Rather than this.
But the forced crossplay. The problem is if you take crossplay off, you struggle to find some of these bigger 128 player games. So you have to play 64 player. The other problem is, to be honest, 128 players is great fun. It's fun. It's madness, right? But it's too many people.
Yeah.
For Battlefield. 64 is perfect. 64
is a lot.
32 v 32 is absolutely fine.
Yeah.
128, 64 v 64 just devolves into chaos because they made the maps bigger, but to do that you now need vehicles. So if you don't have a vehicle, you have to run.
It's going to take you ages to get somewhere.
Miles, to get anywhere, and there's no cover in that space because they couldn't be bothered to fill out all the because you can't put cover because you need the vehicles to be able to drive from A to B.
Ridiculous.
It's just bad design. There'll be a journal article written about this. What do you call them? A case study.
A TED talk.
How not to do anything. Yeah. I'll be surprised if the refunds happen.
Yeah, I don't think it will. I mean, this is the thing with online petitions: is a petition just makes it become a discussion at the table, and then at the table they go, nah.
But it should have. I think the problem is it should have launched, and we all got duped into it again, and we never learned.
No. I think the last good Battlefield I played was 3, 2 or 3.
3 was the best one I've played. I didn't like 4 as much as I like 3. 3 was
the one where you went down the one map that I remember where you went down a hill, took this area, and then had to skydive. Yeah.
And they're adding that map to the game. Like they are planning to add that.
How
And it's
very
kind of
Nintendo of them.
Yeah, how very Nintendo of them because of this Portal service. But
Yeah.
oh yeah, just it's bizarre, and it needs. You could talk about it for hours, but let's not. But it's
No,
kind of, like I
it's
said, it's
fine.
disappointing. There's good moments, and it's okay, but it is disappointing in the end. But I'm sure they'll fix it.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll be fine sometime in the future.
So I was playing that this week. You watched anything cool this week?
I have watched something cool this week, and hopefully a lot of the listeners have as well. A couple things I've watched. I watched what's it called? The Green Knight, which was with Dev Patel. Remember we watched the trailer of it ages ago.
We talked about that. Yeah. Good, bad, indifferent.
It's fine. I think it
Fine.
might be bad. The editing isn't very good. You know when like you watch a movie and the start of the movie seems to happen so quickly so that they can get you into the story, but you don't quite know enough about anyone, and there's been no dialogue, and it's just a bunch of like overlaid text on the screen to tell you about what's happened. And like 2 months have passed, 5 months have passed, 3 days have passed, and I'm just like, wait, what? Who's this? Who is he? Okay, what? Wait, what's happened? And then, and then he goes on his little quest, and it gets a little bit better, but don't know. I wouldn't recommend it to both of you guys to giving it a go. It was
You wouldn't
fine.
recommend it.
Nah,
Fair
it was
enough.
fine.
Fair enough.
I think it's got. I don't know what the IMDb score is. Let me double check real
Look
quick.
that up.
Real quick. See what IMDb think about it. It's got 6.6 out of 10. However, a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. So the fans love it. The critics don't.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Fair enough.
Which is what always happens. I thought it was fine. I was kind of dotting it. What was it we call it again? It's a phone twitcher movie.
A phone twitcher. Ah,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
I like phone twitcher. We need to use phone twitcher. We need to come up with a ranking scale, but that's not just. So we've got class, phone twitcher.
Fine.
We'll get like 5 things and we'll try and work out what things are.
That's a good idea. But then also, I watched the season finale of Boba Fett.
Excellent. What did you think? 1 line or 2 line review?
2-line review. Book of Boba Fett was fun, nostalgic, cameo heavy, and did not stick the landing.
Ooh, interesting. I kind of agree with the sticking of the landing a little bit.
Yeah.
I was summing this up, of all things, to Pidge asked me if it was good because he'd missed it, and he was like, I'm just going to wait for it to all come out and then binge it.
Classic
And
Pidge.
he said, "But is it good?" And I said, I said, it's good. I said, I enjoyed watching it. Was there things I would have done differently? Probably. Could we have done without the Luke Skywalker episode? Spoiler. Probably. Because we could have done with an extra episode of kind of building up the baddies and building up. Because we could have had Cad Bane earlier, which would have made the whole parallel, him still being a bounty hunter and Boba Fett trying to do something good. That parallel would have worked a lot more.
Yeah.
I said to my best description of it is this: Boba Fett is as if you're playing in the sand pit as a child with your toys, and then your mum comes out and says, "This your younger brother, your younger sister, like your young cousin, whatever, is like they want to play too," and you kind of go, oh, "Okay, I'll do it." Okay, so you suddenly that's like the mods. So they bring their bright, colourful
Fucking
stuff
mods.
into your
Jeez.
sand pit.
The fact that
okay?
they're called the
So-
mods makes me angry.
Yeah. Okay, so they come in, but you get along. Okay, so you get along because you're doing it for the benefit of you playtime, because you know that your pal John's coming round later. John's got all the cool toys that he got for Christmas.
The Rancor.
Okay, so John arrives, and basically you've got this amalgamated sand pit of toys that you're just playing with, and all I could think about was when they had the spoilers, the Rancor at the end with the robots was literally just a child with 2 action figures going pew, 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 pew,
Yeah.
pew, 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 pew. Now he's dead, quick, get the jetpacks. you know, does that make sense?
It makes so much sense.
It feels like children playing with toys. I just feel that's
good.
what the finale felt like, was just a giant sandpit full of kids playing with their toys. Oh, you're the mods? Yeah, you can just go over there. Go play in that bit.
The worst. Let me just, for those of you that are listening, audio listeners, open up YouTube or open up Spotify and watch what I'm about to do. It's the worst thing that happened in this one episode and probably ruined the whole series for me. Bear with me.
Please tell me it's not. Thank you.
What the fucking hell was the point of a spinny shoot? I'm going to spin and pew, pew, pew.
I can tell you what it was, okay?
He wanted his one time to shine, and it fell and burned and crashed and bombed.
Have you ever seen Desperado?
No.
Desperado, starring Salma Hayek and Antonio Banderas, where Antonio Banderas is the mariachi.
Class.
And it's a good, and he's a gunslinger. So Robert Rodriguez has history of doing these sorts of like things, but definitely the whole swing thing, that's 100% like the sort of style that he would go for. Especially the other one where they shot the sniper and he falls off the roof and then they shoot him on the way down.
Yeah, that was cool.
I swear I think I've seen that in Desperado.
That was cool.
Once upon a time in Mexico. But that's what the swishiness is kind of. He's done that because it's kind of his, almost like his inner 8-year-old going, "That's gonna look good."
It didn't though. It was the worst thing I've ever seen. He's holding up the Wookiee, and then some people come over. His mate's already shooting. And then he goes, "Wait a minute, I'm going to do a 360." It is the equivalent of the irrelevant spinny lightsaber things in the prequels to lightsaber fights. You don't need to spin around and shit. You can just hammer it. That's what I loved about the way they've written the Darksaber in, is that it's heavy, you know, and it's hard to do, and you have to have your mindset into it in the right way to use it.
Yeah.
He's getting shot at by the pikes. He lets go of the Wookiee's arm, and he could have just gone whack, pew pew pew, you know. But instead, he does a full little 360, lets his little duster fly in the wind, looks like an absolute twat, and then goes pew pew pew. It's ridiculous. It's genuinely, when I saw that happen, I was instantly became, the last episode instantly became a phone twitcher. During that little, I was like, this is fucked. I was like, absolutely not. But then again, it caught your attention again with the Rancor and the big fight scene and the Wilhelm scream. That was fun. And then, but like overall, as a series, just do a quick review. As a series, it's great. You know, it adds another book to the Mandalorian story, and it progresses their story because Grogu's back. Spoiler: he's got his little chainmail on. He uses the Force and then goes for a nap. That's all normal. Yeah. But what I didn't like with the episode is probably one of the lowest for me ranked episodes of the whole series. Just in terms of, it felt rushed, and it felt like, right, I feel like they should have done 8 episodes.
No, they didn't need to do 8 episodes. It was rushed because they gave away 2 episodes.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's back what we were talking about Marvel. It's time management. They had 7 episodes. I was saying to Kat last night, and maybe I think in hindsight, actually, that point is wrong, but I was like, maybe it would have been better as a 2.5-hour film. But actually, the time would have been fine if we just hadn't given away 1 episode or given away 2 episodes. We gave away 50 minutes. Could have had 50 minutes, and we could have established Cad Bane's villain, why Bob was doing what he's doing. We could have had more about the family betrayals.
Yeah.
As it happens, that would have just, whilst it still worked. I'm not saying it didn't work. What I'm saying is that it would have added more gravitas to what was about to happen, because then it wouldn't feel as rushed.
Yeah.
Which is what, if that's the complaint. It wasn't so much 8 episodes was the problem. It's they gave away 2 hours.
Yeah.
Whereas the best episode is the 6.
Yeah, the Mandalorian episode.
It's, Mandalorian, Grogu, fucking Cad Bane. That's cameo heavy, but it introduces a lot of stuff, but kind of pushes it towards the finale, and we could have just done with more of that.
Yeah, I agree. I'm quite disappointed in how they killed off Cad Bane, because I guess they needed to, but in terms of they're heavily banking on the fact that people have watched the animated series and they know who this guy is. And what was really funny is I saw a lot of fans being super pissed at how Cad Bane looked, and they're like, he should look more like the Clone Wars, and they've like changed it. Yeah. And ever since I saw the change and I watched the finale, I was like, oh yeah, he does look a bit like squished, and he's got little teeths.
But he does, but he's also old.
Yeah,
so
this is the thing.
So,
but then you don't get that in the story though. Like on their standoff, he says, "We're both old men now," type thing. You know.
And this is my final lesson. It's like, wait, you taught him? What's going on?
Yeah, I didn't know that. I had no idea that he was his teacher.
There was a cut. See, because the Clone Wars kind of had this really bad moment where in season 5 it basically got axed halfway through. So there's basically a whole bunch of unfinished storylines, and one of them was that Boba's dent in his helmet, that dent he has, that's Cad Bane shooting him in the Clone Wars.
Oh,
and
really?
They basically both aim for there's an unfinished scene where Cad Bane and Boba Fett have a standoff in a town, and Boba's like, I'm not working for you anymore, and they basically draw on each other. Boba kills Cad Bane shoots Boba, but obviously it hits him in his helmet.
Yeah.
And dunts away. But that's where the dent supposedly came from. Well, Dave Filoni had written that in and that's where that dent's coming from. The dent was already there. That's how he got the dent.
Right.
And therefore they had to make this. So he was always going to possibly die at the hands of Boba Fett. But note, nothing's ever surprising in these shows.
Mm-hmm.
But Cad Bane was lying there with a hole in him, and yet he was beeping. And there was a little beep, just beeping on his chest, little red flashing light.
I did see that. Does that mean he's not dead?
Well, I think it's a case of if he tests well, do we bring him back? I thought personally he would have been a better villain for keep him alive, have him be canny, have him escape, but don't have him duel with Boba Fett, escape, and then have him kind of go, right, fuck Boba, I'm going to deal with the Mandalorian, and have him as like a little villain for Mandalorian season 3, chasing Mando about.
Yeah. Or also
something like that.
We also found out in the post-credit scene that the Marshal's still alive, which is cool.
True. But
which I'm happy with.
I'm excited to see Justified in Space if they want to continue with that. That would be excellent.
But
that's why you need Cad Bane still alive. Could have had a great villain.
And the standoff was good, but I think it could have been better. I don't like Boba's gun. I think if you're going to have a Western standoff, give him a pistol.
Do it like they did in episode 7 with Cad Bane and by Cobb Vanth when they stood off in the street with their hands on their gun. Was that 6?
Yeah.
Was that 6 or 7? Yeah.
6. The finale was 7.
Sorry.
Yeah, have it with pistols, and you have that shot where it's just the holster and the guy you're against, you know? And it's like gun, eyes, gun, them, you, them, gun, them, you, fingers, you know?
But that shows you how good a director Dave Filoni is, because that's what he did. And then Robert Rodriguez did it completely differently with the same standoff. That's fun. So yeah, Boba
overall,
Fett,
very good fun. If you've not seen it, if you're interested in seeing it, go for it. Watch it. It won't change your life, but you know, if you're into Star Wars, I love it. You know, big Star Wars fan, and it hit all the right notes for me. And I'm really, really, really looking forward to Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah. Next.
Which is out. They announced the launch date, which is
25th of May.
25th of May, which is 45-year anniversary of A New Hope.
That makes sense.
Because it was either going to be the 4th of May or the 25th. Yeah.
5th, yeah.
Class.
Awesome. That is class.
Have you been watching anything else?
We watched and completed Reacher on Amazon Prime. Starring Alan Ritchson in the title role, also known as Thad Castle.
Oh yeah. And you said he actually looks like Reacher now.
Yeah, he looks like the character. It's basically kind of the Punisher meets. There's a bit of Justified in there. There's some quick. It's kind of he's smart, so obviously there's a couple like smart alecky lines. very much. It's quite brutal. Like there's some good fights and there's some good deaths, I would say.
Yeah.
And it's excellent. It's a great. It was good as in we finished one episode and we wanted to see the next episode, and then we
That's
got
always
to
a good sign
got
of
to
good
about
writing.
11 o'clock. We got to about 11 o'clock at night because we started it quite and about an hour long.
Yeah.
So we're thinking, right, turn this off. Turn this off. Got work.
I've got work tomorrow.
Work tomorrow. And then we thought, and then the end of that episode was a big, not like a cliffhanger, like there was a new bit introduced into the mystery.
Yeah.
And it was like, all right, let's watch the next one.
Let's watch.
Just
Yeah, let's watch.
12, 1 o'clock in the morning.
It's that one point
watching the show.
when the credits roll and you look at each other and you go,
Oh, one more.
one more,
Next episode.
one more. Yeah.
It's good. It's class. I won't go too much into it because I know Eddie wanted to watch it.
Yeah.
So we can talk about it more. But I would thoroughly
Yeah,
recommend
definitely,
it.
because I want to watch it as well now. It sounds good.
It was good. It was excellent. As per news for season 2, so that's good. I also watched The Hunt, which is a satire thing.
Okay.
I'm surprised you've not seen it, Rory, because it has one of the people that you stalk in it.
Mark Wahlberg?
Glenn Howerton.
Oh, nice. Oh, really?
Oh, really? Yeah, I'll watch it now. Yeah.
Oh, maybe I will, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a 5-star man.
Yeah. So it's all about rednecks getting abducted and then put into like a basically kind of like a Hunger Games scenario where they're being hunted by Republicans being hunted by Democrats.
That's
it's kind of a
hilarious.
satire. It's kind of funny. Like it's funny. There's some good action scenes and it's only an hour and a half. So
Nice. I just apologise if you can hear it. A storm has now started again here in Sri Lanka, so if you're hearing some weird noise, the lights are flickering, the internet's going in and out, and also there's like rain sounds coming from my window. So I apologise if that's there, if I haven't managed to get rid of it in the recording, but tough. That's what's happening. That's real life.
All right. Well, you better.
I can't think of
put it in the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just in case you lose power or internet.
Stick it in a trailer. I can't be bothered
Stick it in
doing
a
a
trailer,
trailer thing.
perhaps.
Eddie's not here. He's the best at it. It's Trailer Time. Welcome to Trailer Time, a podcast within a podcast where we talk about trailers, usually hosted by Eddie, but he's taken another week off. And actually, we just discovered over last week, you've been in every episode of That's Class so far. You are
I have.
the OG, the one who's all in, and you're in every episode.
Oh, you are.
Because
you
I've
are
had to duck
breaking
out.
up, sir.
Well, that's fine. If I'm breaking up for you, as long
you're
as
having
it's
some
recording,
power.
that's fine.
You're having some power issues.
Just got your internet
Yeah, no, you're
connection
still
is
there.
unstable.
Yeah. Well, a couple million volts of electricity in there will do that to you.
Absolutely. Electricity and water doesn't really work very well.
Yeah, on the beach. Yeah, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah. So here's some trailer time. We'll do it quickly just in case I lose internet connection because of this storm.
Jurassic World Dominion. Did you watch it?
I did. Looks class. I'll probably see it. The second one wasn't great. The first one was fine. I'll probably watch this one because it's got the original trio in it as well.
Looks good. Always a fan of the Sam Neill, Jeff Goldblum. I mean,
I know.
the dinosaurs look really good as well. They've added feathers to some of them to make them look.
Yeah,
more,
they did. I think it looks like a raptor.
Found. Yeah, I think there's a new study saying that dinosaurs they might have had more feathers than scales. We could have been wrong this entire time.
Yeah, because if you actually, I think the example they gave was if you look at bird fossils and things like that, it doesn't always show that they had feathers.
Yeah.
And then they did an example of being like if you were given a bone structure and you just assumed it didn't have fur or it didn't have feathers, here's what it would look like. And like animals look fucking weird.
I think my favorite thing about dinosaurs, especially in Jurassic Park, is that they've managed to categorize them into good and evil dinosaurs. So like Triceratops is never bad. The Triceratops is a hero dinosaur. The Brontosaurus is the long neck brachiosaurus.
The passive
one.
dinosaur.
They're massive. They're the vegetarian ones. They're goodies.
They're fine.
Raptors baddies.
Bad.
it's just the way they've categorized them. I find it quite funny.
Carnivores,
Birds,
sharp teeth.
Birds, bastards.
Yeah, the birds are a bastard as well. Yeah, Megalodon.
Yeah, that thing is terrifying.
It does look.
That would be that you would shit yourself if you saw a thing that size.
I would not go into the sea.
It makes a blue whale look small.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
So yeah, Jurassic World Dominion. It's a nostalgia again. But
Yeah.
it could be fun to go watch. I might go watch it in the Dominion Cinema in Edinburgh, just because it says Dominion.
Oh
Dominion,
yeah. Oh,
Dominion.
very good.
And then we've got Lightyear is the next one.
Dude,
I'm
I'm all in on this movie. It looks amazing.
It looks amazing. I'm still thinking to myself, is this going to get a cinema release or is this going to be Disney Plus?
Oh yeah, because they've not. I reckon it's Disney Plus because the poster says Disney Plus.
Does it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does.
Ooh, that's
Hold on.
big. That's big for Pixar must be fuming.
Lightyear poster. Let me double check.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
My one complaint, which was I don't know where they're going to go with this, and I said, "Oh, it'd be a shame if they don't have Emperor Zurg." And lo and behold, there's a giant robot that looks like Emperor Zurg.
There's a
so I'm
giant
happy.
with like a three barrel gun as well. Yeah.
Barrel gun. Is it? Yep, I know who that is. So that's cool. I'm all down for that. I am all down. That looks fun.
No, I was wrong actually. The poster doesn't have Disney Plus on it. What it does say is June 17th.
Okay, so it could be cinema, could not be. I feel like this one should be cinema, but they have had a track record recently.
Oh yeah, it says in cinemas.
In cinemas. Well, that's
In
good.
cinemas, June
Good times.
17th.
Yeah, because they released Luca and Soul. And Soul was a Christmas, like a sort of a pandemic.
Yeah.
They did that during
But
the
then
pandemic
again-
because they thought that'd be
Like
fun.
Buzz Lightyear is such a famous character
Cinema.
in Pixar.
He's a cinema character.
And in
yeah.
cinema, yeah, you have to release it in the cinema.
After this, it's cinema,
Yeah. Looks great.
my
Can't
favourite
wait for it.
cinema.
Lastly, I saw this just recently before I went onto the pod. DC Cinematic Universe basically launched a trailer pushing all their new movies that's coming out, which is the Batman, The Rock
Soul.
is a superhero,
Black Adam.
The Flash, the new Aquaman
Flashpoint,
movie, and
That's it.
That's
Those
it.
four.
Yeah, the 4 movies. The Batman, I'm all in on. It looks amazing. Black Adam, I'll probably watch it, although I'm kind of tired of The Rock now.
The only thing that's funny about the Black Adam for me is that because he's in the same like Shazam,
Yeah.
and they put like a muscle suit on.
Oh
who plays
yeah.
Shazam?
Did The Rock say he didn't want to wear the muscle suit?
The Rock stripped all the padding out of his suit and just basically got it painted on.
That's hilarious.
He just looks
He's
he just
like,
looks so big. Yeah. He was like, no,
Massive.
I'm going to play a superhero. It's the classic case of if you found out you were going to be a superhero, you would do everything in your power
to look
a
like
bit
one.
like the Camille Nanjiani guy did when they were like, we want you to be an Eternal. Well, I'm going to go get jacked.
Get jacked,
to be
yeah.
a superhero. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you would do that, but The Rock took it to the next level.
Yeah. He said he's not worked out
Legitimately
like that
huge.
before.
Yeah, huge.
For a role.
So it's just it's funny to think that he's the one guy in the Shazam or the Shazam universe that actually is the size he's pretending. Doesn't need to pretend.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's not. He's
That's
just playing
terrifying.
himself.
Yeah, he's playing himself. Yeah, well, that's the issue. Is he probably end up playing himself. Flash. I'm
The
intrigued.
Flash.
about
I've not
because
seen anything of the Flash.
like it's dangerous, but it's gonna have some nostalgia bait in it, so it'll probably
Yeah.
be okay.
And then-
I'm actually looking forward to Aquaman.
Yeah,
That's the
I
one.
like Jason Momoa as Aquaman. I think he clearly loves playing the character, and he's just
Did you
having
watch
a
the first one?
blast. Yeah,
I really liked the first
Yeah,
one. I thought,
it was
I
good.
thought James Wan did really well with the first one. I liked the. It could have been better, but I liked the. There's a couple of really good bits. I liked the bit where they went to the deep, and there was that shot of all the piranhas like chasing them up, and with the light shining down from the fishing boat. That was cool.
the thing
I
with
really
underwater
liked-
filming is you can make it look amazing,
Yeah, it's
especially
kinda
the CGI
like
you have nowadays.
Yeah, and I like the entrance in and out of Atlantis scene. That felt very Blade Runner.
Oh,
where they were
yeah.
kind of flat with
Yeah.
the floating / flying car that was going through all the skyscrapers and stuff. That was
Yeah.
pretty sick.
Very cool. I'm looking forward to
There's
it.
some cool art design, and it's fun to see a different take.
Oh balls!
What you forgotten?
I forgot to set my team.
Oh yeah. Too busy talking.
Oh, this just in, listeners. I forgot to set my team. The game is being updated and will be available soon. Crap.
Oh well.
Oh well. I knew I'd forget. Anyway, Shall we end it there on that very, very low bombshell?
Oh, after all that big hype at the start, and then
Yeah, big hype at the start, failed at the end. Got too into our conversations.
The real story that was told. Yeah, I mean, there'll be plenty of trailers come Monday.
Yeah, tune in for next week.
I know it's not there. Have you seen the Dr. Evil GM Motors one? I'll send you that.
Yeah, send me that. That sounds amazing.
That sounds funny. Also, I know you won't have seen this, but have you seen the I know we're talking about Lord of the Rings. Did you ever see the Stephen Colbert skit called The Number One Trilogy?
No.
No, I'll send you that as well.
Okay, send me that as well.
Yeah, I'll send you that as well. It's fun.
Sweet. Thank you very much for listening to this episode of That's Class. You can find us on all the socials by searching for That's Class Pod, or on YouTube, That's Class Podcast. Let us know what you find class. We'll probably put it in a future episode. Like, comment, subscribe, listen, share. Do all those things that you do with things that you like, so that other people can listen to it and you can all talk about it, and you find other friends and things like that. You'll find us all of our episodes will now be available on Monday, or whenever I decide to upload it. We're not going to do YouTube stuff separately. It's all going to go up at the same day. And yeah, thank you very much for listening. We'll see you next week for what is probably going to be a trailer time episode.
Quite possibly.
So yeah, that is goodbye from me, and say goodbye, Duncan.
Goodbye, Duncan.
And we'll just end it there because Eddie, again, is not here. So have a super weekend, everyone. Week.
Yeah. And weekend.